I'm Nicole, and we're 48 degrees north. Hey guys, and welcome to August in the Pacific Northwest. It is mid-August, and as usual, per the last couple of years here in the Pacific Northwest, we are starting to have an awful lot of smoky, hazy days from the wildfires nearby. But that's not going to stop us from diving in and getting our fall vegetables planted.
So it's been really warm in the past couple of weeks, and in fact last week it got up unseasonably warm to over 90 degrees. But this week it's supposed to be a little bit cooler, so I think we'll be safe putting some seeds in the ground.
I think so too. So if everything goes the way it's supposed to, the weather will stay relatively mild until we get into mid-October, and we should, if we use some seeds that have a short enough duration, we should be able to start harvesting some things in mid-October before the freeze sets in.
Hey, real quick guys, be sure and like and subscribe.
And follow us on Instagram. We're trying to get to 10,000 followers.
All right, so this bed I put in the spring and originally planted potatoes in it. So I had red potatoes and Yukon Golds, both which turned out really well. And I also had some green beans, because green beans are supposed to be good companion plants for the potatoes. They didn't really produce, but the potatoes did produce well. So now this is the next phase, and this is August, and I have planted 3 new things here for the fall. And so I have a row of beets, a row of radish, and a row of lettuce. And hopefully it'll come through the soil here in another couple of weeks. And here in the Pacific Northwest, if it doesn't sprout right away, I know that I just need to wait a little bit longer. And I will be kind of monitoring the bed because there are furry little bunnies around and they like to eat the little sprouts. And so I'll be working to keep those off of the vegetables as well. And then I've set this watering system down, and every week or so I'll give it a really good soak. So here in my vegetable garden, some things worked really well and other things not so well. So one thing that worked really well was when I planted garlic here last fall, actually, I ended up getting a really nice harvest of garlic. So most of it is indoors now, but just to show you, I'm pretty happy with this. I also planted in between the garlic in this same bed onions, and so I got a pretty good harvest of onions as well. I planted those in the spring. Now I will be succession planting and putting in some seeds here for the fall, and we'll see how those do. The corn I put in pretty late, so I'm not sure if it's going to do anything, but it seems to like being there at the moment. The squashes were kind of interesting. I started them from seed, and they didn't look like they were even going to survive when I put them in the ground, but they have been pretty steadily giving me squash for about the past month and a half or so. Sunflowers, you can see I'm very happy with. Cucumbers is one that I thought were going to do really well. They looked great when I put them in the ground. I had started them from seed, and I've received 2 cucumbers and they're misshapen, so not sure what's happening there. My peas did well. My tomatoes don't look like much, but they have been giving me a consistent harvest for about the past month. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Some things worked, some things didn't, and everything is an experiment.
So I'm going to plant a couple fall crops as well. I'm going to do some arugula and some bush beans. I'm going to do them in a bin that I previously used for peas and potatoes.
So I did notice something here. One side looks like it has more dirt than another side.
It does, and that's because I used this to build up the potatoes as they were growing and to fill them in and try to make the hills higher and higher. It really didn't work. It was not a good strategy. I don't know if the box is too deep. I don't know if it didn't get enough water, but for whatever reason, I had a very poor potato crop.
So are you going to be planting in rows like we did over at my place, or are you going to do something different?
So I'm going to do the arugula in a broadcast fashion, and the reason I'm going to do that is because I'd like to have a bigger crop. And a lot of times in rows I feel like things get too crowded and I'm not getting the production that I want. And I would like to have a lot of arugula here as part of my fall crop.